Indy Star Pacers beat writer James Boyd here. Obviously, there was a trade. Malcolm Brogdon was moved from the Pacers to the Celtics. And I want to just touch base with you all and break it down here. Obviously, there have been some trade rumors hanging over Brogdon's head for pretty much the second half of the season, ever since Tyrese Halliburton was traded in exchange for Domantas Sabonis from the Kings to the Pacers. You kind of got that feeling that with Tyrese Halliburton, such a talented point guard, you have to make a decision to really go all in on him as your lead guard. So the writing was on the wall for Malcolm Brogdon. He's 29 years old. He's been injury prone. And now, if he's been under a rock, he's been traded to Boston, where he'll have a chance to compete for a championship most likely next season. And in exchange for him, got the details right here so I wouldn't, give you all any misinformation. Indiana receives Boston's 2023 first-round pick, guard Nick Stauskas, and then they get forwards Daniel Tice, Aaron Naismith, Juwan Morgan, and Malik Fitz. Obviously, Juwan Morgan played at IU, was a second-team and third-team All-Big Ten honoree in 2018, 2019, respectively. He's someone I'm sure Hoosiers will enjoy having back in the city. But the two players that I kind of think of when I think of this trade is Daniel Tice, who is a proven veteran. He's that stretch four you kind of need. He's got pretty good size. He can shoot it from outside. He could thrive, in this offense with this team because they kind of lacked those 3s and 4s, and you need that. And also Aaron Naismith, young guy, probably has a lot more to prove at 22 years old, kind of still trying to find his footing in the league. So he's one other guy to keep in mind, another guy with some size, some length. And again, that's what this Pacers roster kind of lacked and what they gained. The biggest thing, though, is obviously getting that 2023 first-round pick. The other two guys are probably going to be looked at as immediate help or immediate impact. But that 2023 first-round pick is huge because if the Pacers miss the playoffs, they'll have, a lottery pick of their own. They have a 2023 first-round pick from Boston. And then if the Cavaliers, if the Cavaliers make the playoffs, then you'll have their lottery-protected first-round pick as well. So that could be 3 first-round picks next draft for the Pacers, which obviously will be a lot to work with, depending on where your pick is, how good or bad the Pacers are. They could be back in lottery again. And if you end up with 2 lottery picks and another first-round pick on top of that, that's something to definitely, if you're not where you want to be in the draft, you can move up and use that to your advantage. So I think that's a big, big thing. And the other big thing is also that the Pacers cleared up cap space. You get rid of Brogdon, who was owed, I believe 3 years and about over $60 million left on his contract. And now, the Pacers are, going to have some projected cap space this summer of $31 million, which is enough to sign a max contract player. I know there's been, some rumblings of DeAndre Ayton possibly joining the Pacers. He would command a max contract. Do the Pacers go that route? I'm not sure. Obviously, they have the money to do it. They have the assets to do it. But they could also think like, hey, let's stay young. Let's eat, a couple of bad contracts, get some other young assets, some other picks in the future, and build from there. But overall, I think it was a good haul for the Pacers. Of course, if you're a Pacers fan or you're a Pacers GM or you're in the front office, you would like for them to get more in return. But the reality is, with Brogdon being 29, turning 30 in December, having played a career low 36 games last year, there's just not much you can get back besides what they did, in my opinion, for a guy like that. And then, again, in return, on the flip side, Brogdon gets a chance to compete for a championship, which I'm sure he's excited about. Boston, in my opinion, needed a point guard, especially in the finals against Golden State. I think if they had Brogdon and he's healthy and you plug him in, they might, pull out that series against, Steph Curry and company. Obviously, it's a long way away. We'll see how it all kind of shakes out. But I would say on the surface right now, this is a good trade for the Pacers. They had to move Malcolm Brogdon. You want to go all in on Tyrese Halliburton. You want to get younger. They did both of those things. And now we have to see what other moves they make throughout free agency and throughout the offseason.